Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
And welcome to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving morning, actually. We are recording. We're not off on holidays.
Yeah. Our families are eating our Thanksgiving meal right now. We snuck away.
Yeah, we got to hurry so we can get some turkey in. We appreciate everybody checking us out. You can, of course, check us out at InsideTheForce.com. Get all the episodes right there. Follow us on Twitter, Inside the Force. Facebook, Inside the Force. And, of course, you can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio. If you found us, you're listening to one of those avenues. And this is where we talk about everything Star Wars. And, oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
We have got the news we've been waiting for. And that is the announcement of the teaser trailer.
Oh, yeah.
We will get into that in this episode for a little bit. But first, as always, we are going to review the mid-season finale, I guess. Mm-hmm. They haven't called it that, but I guess that's what it is, of Star Wars Rebels.
Yep.
So we will talk about that, get into some little bit of news, some speculation on the actual also spinoff film that we're going to see, the first one. So we will talk a little bit about all that. Probably a little abbreviated episode here because we are going to come back this weekend. Just telling you right now, we're gonna break down the teaser trailer frame by frame, and talk about it, get it out there for you guys. As I'm sure everybody is going to be glued to this thing, and really start speculating on what we're going to see in the film. So, all right, so let's break down Gathering Forces. Okay. So this was basically the two-part, the second part continuation. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was more. It was almost like Spark of Rebellion, where it was almost a 40-minute movie. Yeah. In a sense. Picking back off of Empire Day. So what do you think of Gathering Forces?
I loved it. I mean, and I kind of talked about this last week where, they go together so well. So to me, it seems like, one big thing. So to talk about one part and the second part, it's all the same because the second part was amazing. You got, more information about Ezra's parents. Mm-hmm. And to me, it kind of almost solved the question of who is Fulcrum. Because we can talk about that in a second. But overall...
Oh, really?
Because... Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they went to the Tanto 4 blockade runner. And they were talking about, I got to go see Fulcrum.
Was it the Tanto 4 though?
It looks exactly like it.
It's the same it's the same blockade, right?
Yeah.
Ship.
But I don't know how many there are around there. But
yeah,
to me, it was like, well, that's Bail Organa's ship. Because I have to compare it to the one that we saw of him earlier to see if it's identical, but maybe it's a little different. I don't know. Maybe it's identical. I don't know. But maybe, they're going to Bail Organa's ship and he's there, but maybe he's not Fulcrum. Maybe if their big twist, Ahsoka Tano is Fulcrum and she's hanging out with Bail Organa in the blockade runner.
I heard a rumor like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other than that, though, I still loved it. I mean, it was just a great story because we were trying to, get in Ezra's mind, figure out because my whole question is, who are his parents? We saw his parents, an image of his parents, and it was that was a cool moment. But overall, because it was great because Ezra was tapping into the dark side. He was doing some crazy stuff with the Force in this episode with those little monster flying critter things. So not really they were flying, but the big one was. It was quite amazing.
God, I had the name of them and I forgot already.
Oh yeah,
they named them.
But it was, I was really afraid for them there at the end of the episode because Inquisitor was taking them out pretty good.
Yes.
Kanan was losing until Ezra.
They're not Minox. There's something like
Yeah.
that. They're like something Nox. I can't remember. But anyway.
Yeah. But I loved it. Good episode.
Very good episode. This is, I guess, the one thing that you really do take from this, and it's you got this the first time the Inquisitor and Kanan fought each other. Kanan, you got to remember, Kanan. I'm pretty sure, and I think I heard this in one of their, I think maybe their Rebels Recon thing. Kanan hasn't completed his training.
Right.
Like he is not. I don't even know if he ever made it to Jedi Knight because
I don't know.
He was a Padawan when the Clone Wars broke out, and I mean we're going to get that in the comic that comes out next year.
Yeah.
But because it's called The Last Padawan, so he never made it to Jedi Knighthood. Mm-hmm. So technically, he's so far behind. I mean, it's amazing to be honest that he could even hold his own a little bit with the Inquisitor. I mean, Inquisitor is basically just toying with him in a sense, but
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how far he can actually train Ezra. Because, but that you got that little twist, kind of that. Sibo, I think his name, Sibo, right? Was like, I know his fate.
Yeah.
He said something like, I know his fate. And it's like, wow, okay, so.
Yeah, I really think he's going to come into play big time.
Yeah. This has become, and I love, and mark my words, I love it. This has become more about the Force than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was just going to be a rebellion, the people fighting back. But this is really turning into, a Force and Jedi and training episodic show than I thought it would be.
Yeah, did they even say like might not see a lot of Jedis?
Yeah,
or something like that. I mean, I guess
it's only going to be them.
Rewrote it. Yeah.
But at some point, you got to think that, like Obi-Wan with Luke, he's got to take him or get a Jedi Master or a Jedi Knight at least. Maybe that's when Obi-Wan comes in.
Obi-Wan or Ahsoka. I don't know. I'm just waiting for a big reveal of that. But yeah.
See, Ahsoka never reached knighthood. Did she not?
No, but I mean, she might as well have been.
Yeah, she was pretty tough.
I mean, to go to Tatooine, run into Obi-Wan.
I think Obi-Wan might be the Yoda of this, maybe.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Every now and then you go to see him for training.
For training?
That'd be wild.
That would be incredible. And so the real cool thing about this episode also is Ezra gets the first brush with the dark side.
Yeah.
It's the dark side that basically called that enormous creature.
Yeah, and I was looking up, it's like a Furnock, I think.
Furnock, you're right. That's it. That's what he says, yeah.
But yeah, it was gigantic. Well, I thought it was cool enough anyways when he got all those little guys. They're just sitting there watching them. He's like using the Force there. But yeah, he called them the big one. That was nuts.
And he passes out, doesn't really remember. So
yeah,
interesting to get to introduce that already and to talk about that.
So I mean, is that going to be like an ongoing thing? Probably.
I'm assuming it would be. It would be
because he's got a lot of hate. We've seen it.
Absolutely. And you can think about it. I mean, he would be, as of right now, he would be too old to become a Jedi. Because. I mean, Anakin was 9, and they said he was too old. So it's always they always get him real young, and that's why because when they're older, they've already had the emotions of loss and hatred and anger and all that stuff. So, but no, I think it was a fantastic episode. I think the Inquisitors. See, that's the thing you got to remember too. I think the Inquisitors aren't Sith.
Yeah,
so they're not all powerful.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, there's dark side users. They're bad people, but they're not as bad as like a Dooku,
right? Like I would venture to guess that he probably doesn't have force lighting.
Oh, probably not. We would have seen it. I feel like
right. I think he would have, because training that would have been part of his training. I think he's just lightsaber skills and maybe some force pushing and
force stuff. Yeah.
So
that's what I said. Like early on, when the show just started, like Kanan's not the perfect Jedi, and Inquisitor's not the perfect. Dark side Sith guy. He's they're both very flawed, and Inquisitor's got this fancy schmancy lightsaber that does a lot of work for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it's good stuff.
My daughter saw that toy lightsaber.
She's been telling me about it. Yeah.
I told you she wants that thing. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, back to the fulcrum thing. I mean, so who's your? Now we heard kind of the voice already, though.
It was a computerized voice.
It was a computerized. So people are speculating whether it could be a male or a female, right?
And I've been reading people saying like, "Oh, the voice patterns, the way the person's speaking, it sounds like Ahsoka." Like, and they're like comparing like how Ahsoka talks and how. And I was like, "Well, I think that's a stretch. You're going really far into it. I mean, maybe it is Ahsoka, but I just think it's Ahsoka. It could be Ahsoka just because it would be a great twist.
Yeah,
and I think that going next step, Blockade Runner, I feel like that has to be involved with. I'm
kind of going to start leaning towards. I'm going to start leaning towards more of a connection with the original
movies, like a Lando,
like a Leia.
Oh, Princess Leia. That would make sense too. Yeah, Bail and Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's who I'm going to lean towards.
Yeah, it's very plausible.
Because I think by this point she's 14.
Yeah.
So she's in. I think she started like her mother,
a senator, probably.
Yeah,
right?
she started, or at least an ambassador.
Yeah,
I think because he's the senator,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's the ambassador.
Yeah.
So she's been in the politics for a while now. So part of the rebellion, just no one knows. So I think she's the one that's possibly.
But is she doing it with Bail or outside?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's a lot to make have your daughter get.
Well, that's the thing is, I think it's just because she's just kind of telling them where to pick up supplies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's not really getting involved, necessarily. So, but I mean, hell, by the time she's 18, 19, she's going out and stealing Death Star plans.
Yeah,
so and going and trying to get recruiting Obi-Wan. So it's possible. I mean,
that's pretty good. That's very good. Yeah.
Or it could be Mothma.
Very good.
But the thing about it that was weird is that when we saw Bail, technically the first episode, right? That was the droids thing. That was basically the first episode. Had they been talking to Volcrum before that?
I feel like it's been the whole time.
I see. I do too. So that's why it's kind of weird. It would be a little weird if it was Bail. Like, I don't think it's Bail.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's him, but maybe it's tied to him somehow.
Yeah.
So Leia makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make very much sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was trying to look through here, see what the rumors are, see if there's any glimpse of it in A New Dawn, Fulcrum. And I don't think there is. But
got to get through that book.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, and of course, the show is now on hiatus for the month of December. We will get we will get brand new episodes starting. I think January 5th is the next Star Wars Rebels episode. And they tease it a little bit. I think it's called.
I haven't seen the title for that one.
I'll look that up real fast. But it's coming January 5th. Back on Disney XD. I think it's called Path of the Jedi.
Path of the Jedi.
Yeah. So a little bit more going into his training, Ezra's training.
Yeah.
You can watch. Be sure to watch. There's a clip on Rebels Recon. You can go to YouTube channels, Star Wars YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Rebels Recon. It's a behind the scenes look at each episode. Watch the Gathering Forces one. There's a clip of that episode, Path of Jedi, in there. Really good companion episode. Watch that. Good insights from Pablo Hidalgo and Dave Filoni. All right, so moving on to obviously the biggest news since the Disney takeover of Lucasfilm. We are getting the teaser of Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Now, you don't have to go to a theater.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I mean, we always suspected that, they had to release it somehow. But my buddies and I have been talking like, well, we're probably going to be watching a leaked version of it this weekend.
Right.
But now we get an official iTunes release sanctioned Star Wars.
Yeah, so I don't know if that means it's like an Apple trailer where it's just on Apple or iTunes. I don't know what that means, that it's actually an iTunes trailer, movie trailer.
I think it's
just going to be a downloadable thing from iTunes?
I'm trying to look. Let's see if there's a difference. iTunes movie trailers is on apple.com.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why I think it's going to be
let me
just.
see here. There's actually a link now on. I thought. Well, they're advertising it on Apple's trailers.apple.com.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's like a little. It's not a clickable link.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably going to be.
That's
on
where it's going to be.
Yeah, on apple.com.
So apple.com/trailers, right?
Trailers.apple.com.
Trailers.apple.com. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you're already, as I think I've read and saw some tweets that people have already, because they announced the theater list
Yeah.
first. So I think a lot of people, like myself, I was actually thinking of driving somewhere.
Oh gosh, yeah.
A lot of people might have already bought tickets to movies for Friday because it was announced they would be in the theaters first. But of course, if you're still willing to do that, there's a whole list of theaters on StarWars.com. It's only about 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just is it just Regal?
I guess Regal does Regal own AMC? Because a lot of AMC theaters.
Well, there's a Cinemark on here too. So there's a Cinemark, AMC, and Regal, and I see Carmike too. So actually, it looks like that's all.
But there's, if it's just the big cities, really.
Yeah, it is. It's Phoenix, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Irvine, San Diego, San Jose, Toronto, Vancouver, Denver, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, Detroit, Minneapolis, Kansas City, New York, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Nashville, Knoxville.
Yeah, all but pretty much
Houston.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Houston, Dallas, Austin, Salt Lake City, Seattle, and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So
I would be close to Indianapolis. If it was there, I'd be really tempted.
Yeah, or even Cincinnati. I
mean,
those. Unfortunately, those are the cities close to us.
Yeah.
Our closest city would be Knoxville, which is a little less than 3 hours away.
Yeah.
3 hours for 88 seconds. I mean, I would do it.
Yeah.
If Casey would go with me, he's tied up.
Yeah.
But I'm happy, as everybody should be, to say, hey, it's online Friday, so we should be just sitting in our homes, checking out that trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's actually, I'm looking here, there's an app, iTunes Movie Trailers app, that might be appearing on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get that for free, at least for Apple apps. I don't know if there's a Windows version. But it's on apples.com. It advertises downloading the app, so maybe it'll be the app as well as the website. But I don't know when it'll be released.
We're speculating midnight, middle of the day.
I'm going to be glued to my phone at midnight.
Oh.
I'll be Black Friday shopping and on my phone. So I'm like, oh, this is nuts. But I think there'll be a way to download it. I hope there is.
So I
don't have to go online every time. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think you should be able to. Most of these you can.
But this is supposed to be real footage from the movie, not just like a Dark Knight type teaser, like actual footage.
This is 88
of
seconds.
the characters.
Yeah, this is going to be our first glimpse.
Now there is, and I saw actually it was, and I just realized too. There was a supposed leak, or like a GIF from the trailer of like the Falcon flying towards the camera, but it turned out to be fake.
Yeah.
So don't be fooled out there, guys. And there's been a couple fan made teasers that have been pretty good fan teasers.
Decent, but yeah. There's some good ones with Mark Hamill with the beard and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
So we will,
dissect it's going to be
intensely.
Unbelievable.
We're going to give this.
Will it break? Will it break down the internet when it's released?
Break down, maybe. Maybe at least break down Apple's site. Let's do that.
I hope they're prepared because when it comes out, it's going to be like millions and millions of streaming going on. Right?
Let's break it. Challenge you all.
So again, we will talk. We're each of us are going to, in our own way, on Friday dissect this thing.
Yeah.
We're going to get together and go through this trailer frame by frame for you guys and give you our opinions on what we're seeing and talk about what we're possibly going to be getting in the movie.
Yeah, it seems like there's rumors about if there's going to be another teaser outside of these theaters, like a different version.
Multiple versions, yeah.
But that's why I thought they were going to do it, because that's what they did for the Dark Knight, the big Dark Knight trailer. They were having an IMAX trailer, and I went up to Louisville. I watched I Am Legend or something like that and saw the prologue and the trailer, all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know. No one knew that they were releasing a different version of the trailer. And all the other theaters in the world. So I kind of feel like they were going to do something like this. Some people were saying that there was confirmation that it's just going to be one trailer. Let me see. Maybe one trailer in different theaters, but there might not be different versions, like how there's been some rumors. But no, yeah, go to, and it even says here, yeah, go to apple.com for the actual trailer. So maybe not iTunes.
I kind of think it's going to be on StarWars.com as well. I mean,
it would have to be.
I would just assume. All right, so again, come back this weekend. Check our feed next week, this coming weekend, just a couple of days after the teaser is released, and we'll get a full episode up there about it. Kind of one last thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the big rumor that came out within this past week of the Star Wars spinoff film that we're going to get in 2016. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're going to be starting shooting this thing early next year.
Great.
And the speculation we've gotten from reports from, it being a Boba Fett movie to being a Han Solo movie to being, these rumored Obi-Wan movies coming out, blah, blah, blah. But so what we're hearing now is kind of, if anybody knows the Suicide Squad out there, it's Suicide Squad from DC Comics is basically a collection of villains that are kind of forced to do good deeds. Harley Quinn is part of that, Deadshot, blah, blah, blah. So now what we're hearing is that this first film is going to be the collection of bounty hunters led by Boba Fett. And the story is going to center around them stealing the Death Star plans that Leia acquires in A New Hope. Boom. What do you think?
It is a cool idea. I mean, I feel like it's a good, like they're listening to the fans, I guess, because everybody wants to see Boba Fett and the bounty hunters, like seeing all the bad guys, I suppose. Maybe they're listening to them, or he's always had this idea. Talking about Gareth Edwards, the director, and the writer Gary Whitta. But yeah, they say it's like Seven Samurai type thing, which there's I feel like a lot of filmmakers have always wanted to do a Seven Samurai type Star Wars. Because George Lucas, I think, even tried it, and Zack Snyder, he's even said, if I were to do it, I would do like a Seven Samurai type thing. I don't know why, it just seems like there's been a Clone Wars episode like that, I feel like. I think Filoni has even said, I think there was one episode of Clone Wars where Filoni made it like a Seven Samurai type thing.
Yeah.
I can't think, but I feel like I heard that somewhere. But I mean, this is interesting. I mean, it leads to kind of some questions saying, since it's about the first Death Star plans, will we see Kyle Katarn? Because there is a video game out there. I cannot think of what it's called. It was a computer Star Wars game, where I think it was about that, and like Kyle Katarn was in it. About the first Death Star plans, and people are saying, like, is it going to be like this game? Is it going to be like Kyle Katarn type thing? But I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah, the only issue I see with this, and it wasn't brought up to me until I watched a video from Nerdist.com. They had talked about, they brought the fact, hey, how about make a movie where you don't know the ending?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you and me, we love the prequels.
Right.
But in the end, you know how the prequels are going to end. You knew Anakin becomes Darth Vader. You knew the Clone Wars were going to end, and Obi-Wan's going to go here. Yoda's going to. I mean, you just knew the ending. I mean, it was still great to see the story. So, depending on how good the story is with these bounty hunters, the first, whatever the hour and a half, 2 hours that the movie is, as long as that part is intriguing and entertaining, and you learn about these characters, you can live with the fact that you know how it's going to end. They're going to get the plans, and somehow they're going to get it to Leia. You know?
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a twist, really, at the end, unless there is. That's interesting that you could bring in like a Kyle Katarn, or anybody from Expanding Universe or whatever, someone we don't know, and make a good story about it. So I like the idea, because I mean, don't don't get me wrong, I love Boba Fett's characters or anything to do with him. But to see him like basically, and that would be a cool tie, honestly, to episode 5.
I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
Why those guys are on there in particular.
Yeah.
So how awesome is that? Like that same group,
Yeah.
Dengar. So it's Dengar, Bosk, Boba, IG-88, Forlom, and Zuckuss, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
So you got the 6 of them. They actually are hired to steal the plans.
Yeah.
And then they're hired now in 5 to actually go after the people that they stole the plans. That's the bounty hunters, right? That's what they do.
I wonder how close they'll get to episode 5, because this is supposed to be taking place during A New Hope, and like how many characters are we going to see from the original, if at all, because it's going to be hard because they're, it was made
correct
35 years ago. But
well, you remember they said that. I thought they said that no one in the original movies would be in
no original character, no
original character.
guys,
yeah. Besides, obviously, Boba Fett now.
Yeah, I mean,
and these bounty hunters.
But it'll be interesting to see, like, because we talked about how that there was that I don't know if it was a speculation or a confirmed thing where like Boba Fett was the one who disintegrated Luke's and Uncle, so could it lead all the way up to that or something? I don't know. It'll give us some answers to some questions that we had for the original trilogy,
right?
Or just like throw in some cool things, like, oh wow, so that explains this kind of thing. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
there are some cool things they can do with it, but I agree. Like, there's all going to be a twist, unless I can't think of a twist that they could do.
I don't either.
There's nothing really, unless they're going about this, for the new audience that has not seen the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like it's like, so this is your first Star Wars movie. Then after this, go see the original trilogy, and then go see 7.
Yeah,
7. I don't know
what
their marketing plan for this is, but it's could be cool. I mean,
it's going to be very cool.
Good, he's a good director.
Anything else? What else we got news wise?
Nothing huge. I mean, they've wrapped filming now, and they've talked about how all these other actors that are, like, they just said that there's this new British actress that was in Star Wars, but so she's not like huge. She's been in a lot of like TV shows, BBC shows, and all that kind of stuff. So nothing crazy. And yeah, I mean, there's no.
The only other little thing you mentioned to me a couple days ago was what's that?
The new animated rumor of a new animated.
That's
show.
what I was about to bring up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's apparently.
Yeah. So Rebels is apparently they're looking to only last about 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
And then jumpstart another animated series.
I mean, that would make sense if it was about 4 years.
Correct.
It leads right up to A New Hope, and then they're saying that this new animated series could take place in the current timeline, so in the sequel trilogy timeline.
So two comments on that. One, if you watch, there's I don't think it's Rebels Recon. I think it's some other. No, it is Rebels Recon. I think Dave Filoni talked about it. He made a great comment. Because they're still showing and talking about a lot of Clone Wars stuff. Especially with this Lost Missions, and it came out. But he made it clear. He said, I just want to make it clear that we didn't, Disney didn't decide to end the Clone Wars, technically. They felt, and he felt, now that George wasn't involved, he goes, I felt like we couldn't do any more Clone Wars that George wasn't involved, because he oversaw every episode.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And I feel better about it ending, to be honest, because I was really disappointed, as I think you were too, because it was getting really good. Even though Ahsoka had left, it looked like they had planned. We talked to Tom Kane before. I mean, they were recording season 7 already.
Yeah. As
far as the audio. So, did it have a good conclusion? Probably not. If you're looking at the Yoda arc being the last of the series, that really doesn't close out the entire series. So, because you kind of felt like it was still going to butt up to episode 3, is what would have made it complete. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, do I wish they would at least go back and maybe try to finish a full season 6? That would be cool. I am a little disappointed, to be honest, in that animatic episodes.
Yeah, I never saw that.
I mean, I've watched 2 of them. I want to finish it, but it's very difficult to me.
Just do a movie. Just do a 2D or a 3D movie.
I agree, or just at least that part. I think you need to just convert that into a comic book, like you did the Darth Maul thing.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it would be awesome to do a closeout film of the Clone Wars. I don't know if that's ever talked about. I doubt if it's even talked about. So what we have, the Clone Wars, is probably it. But yeah, new series coming. My thought is I'm dying to know if any of those things, any of that live action series they were talking about doing, if that's ever going to come to fruition, because apparently they had 50 episodes already written.
Yeah,
man, that would be awesome.
I haven't heard anything about.
I
that.
know. I and I think it would depend on the success of if episode 7 takes off, the spinoff. A live action show, I think, is inevitable.
Yeah,
inevitable. So we're talking probably years down the road. Though.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so that's all the news and everything for this week. We're going to be back this weekend and talk to you about the teaser trailer of The Force Awakens, the most anticipated 88 seconds, I think, in years.
88, not even a full minute and a half.
I'm going to put that in the title somehow.
Okay, 88.
The 88.
The 88.
All right, so let's do some trivia before we wrap this episode up. This is going to come episode 1628, and this will be in the A New Hope era. Looks like so sweet. All right, here we go. 1628. Where did the exhaust port the Rebels pilots had to target lead directly to?
Okay.
Where did the exhaust port the Rebel pilots had to target lead directly to? A, the reactor system. B, the ventilation system. C, the fuel system. Or D, the molten core.
I have to read through that.
Oh, I don't need. I got to think about that one for a second.
1628. Reactor system, ventilation system, fuel system, molten core.
What's C?
Fuel system.
Fuel system.
I think I know what it is not. At least one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't think it's the ventilation system.
Yeah.
I don't know
the
how
air.
That yeah.
All right, I think I got my answer.
You think you got it? What are you going with?
I'm going to go with molten core.
The molten core. D. Okay. I'm going to go with, I think it's A, the reactor system.
Okay.
So I'll pick D. And it is A, the reactor.
I was thinking
system.
that wasn't because
I think he says the reactor.
But I thought that
system.
was. I was thinking Akbar was saying that, and the main reactor.
Oh,
was that? Am I thinking
that was Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, that's what I thought because I was thinking like that's trying to confuse us for the second.
Oh no!
Dang it!
I think he says the exhaust. It's a thermal exhaust port, right above the main port. It leads directly to the reactor system or something. Like that. I think he says it. And the only reason I know that now, you remember. Was it the other day I was talking to you and I said, remember one of our comments was Leia talks to the pilots during that scene?
Yeah.
And I rewatched that scene. That's the only reason I remember that.
It. Yeah.
All right. So that's trivia. Hope you guys got that right.
Hope you got it right.
Hope you got it right. Because if not,
keep watching.
Be able to go watch.
Is there going to be a marathon of Star Wars?
I don't know. It better be. I was thinking to have my own marathon. Leading up to the trailer. So, hey, I tweeted it out. I said, eat some turkey and watch some Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I told I'm going to be at my in-laws this weekend. I'm going to have to tell them, like, because they got a nice smart TV.
Yes.
So, like, Friday comes on, I'm like, okay, we're going to watch this trailer on your smart TV. I don't care what you have to say. We're doing it.
Right. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys chiming in and listening. He is Kryptonian1138 on Twitter. I am DCottingham21 on Twitter. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Check out the teaser, Apple trailers, Friday at some point. Wish we had a time for you, but we don't. Check that out and listen back here at InsideTheForce.com. Get the new breakdown of the 88 seconds. So, for Casey Cooley.
A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack. A good old Yoda quote. Because I'm thinking that will come into play for Ezra and Rebels.
It will.
He used it for attack. You can't do that.
That's right. Again, thanks for listening, everybody. Take care out there. Have a good holiday, and be back this weekend to check us out as we break down the teaser. He's Casey Cooley.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm David Cottingham. Have a great Thanksgiving, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.